Hey, welcome to Man That's Cooking. In this video, we're going to show you how to make a hearty minestrone soup. Some people call it minestrone, others call it minestrone, but we're going to call it a hearty minestrone. Now we're going to use the typical ingredients that your Italian nonna would use, but later on in the cooking process, you'll see that we're going to allow some of the liquid to steam off, and that's going to thin it down and make it really hearty. Now that's an optional step, of course. You don't have to make it hearty if you don't want to. But hey, let's build this soup. So first thing we're going to do is cut up 3 stalks of carrots. You could do 4, you could do 5, but 3 is the minimum. And you want to break it down into smaller bits like this. It's not exactly diced. Just put your knife on shuffle and cut it like that. Now, if your cutting board is sliding around, all you have to do is put a towel underneath the cutting board and that'll stabilize it. If your cutting board slides around too much, that's an injury that's waiting to happen. Next, you want to chop 3 stalks of celery. And we're going to do the same thing as we did with the carrots. You just want to cut up the celery and then put your knife on shuffle just like this and just chop everything up randomly like so. And to complete the mirepoix trifecta, we're going to add 1 onion. And we're going to dice this up just like so. You want to carefully slice it across just like this. Be careful of your thumb. Of course, this video is sped up, so it's actually happening a lot slower than what you see here. And then dice it up just like this. Next, we're going to mince 2 cloves of garlic by hand. And you can buy the pre-minced if you like. It's always better if you do fresh, of course. It doesn't take too much time just to chop it up with your knife like this. And then what we're going to do is set the minced garlic aside, and we're going to cook up the onions, celery, and carrots first in a stock pot, and we're going to put it on a medium heat. And you want to add a little bit of olive oil. You can also use vegetable oil if you don't have olive oil. And you're going to cook this for about 8 minutes or so. When you can see the color changing on the onions, it's starting to get a little more translucent. That's when you can add the garlic, and you want to cook this for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, no more than 2 minutes. And then you're going to add 4 cups or 32 ounces of vegetable broth or vegetable stock, whatever you can find in your store. You know, supply chain issues, results may vary. Add a 14-ounce can of crushed tomatoes, a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes, a 15-ounce can of kidney beans, and a 15-ounce can of white cannellini beans, both drained and washed, and add those to the soup mix. But wait, there's more. We're going to add 1 cup of frozen green beans, 1.5 cups of frozen chopped spinach. You can also use 2 cups of fresh baby spinach, but you want to cut that up a little bit, chop it by hand. And then turn the heat up to medium-high, stir everything together, put a lid on it, and bring it to a boil. And then stir the soup again. Try to break down any of that frozen clumps of chopped spinach if you used frozen spinach. And then turn the heat down to a medium. Now, here's where you can put the lid on part way, just like this, and let a lot of the steam out. And that'll reduce this soup down and make it hearty. Now, of course, that's an optional step. You don't have to do that if you don't want to. But let it simmer at a medium temperature for 15 minutes, and then this is what we've got right about here. Next, you want to add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. And we're going to use dried seasoning. You don't have to use fresh herbs for a soup. Dried seasoning works pretty well in soups. And we're going to follow this with a 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And that's optional, of course, if you don't like salt. So go ahead and stir all that seasoning together. And then you want to add 1 cup of elbow macaroni, or you can use the small shell pastas if you like, if you're into shells. Some people like elbows. Yeah, whatever shape you're into, that's cool. This cooking channel doesn't judge. So continue to let this cook and simmer at a medium temperature on your burner. And put the lid on and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. And you can see what we got so far. It's starting to really come together. It's nice and hearty. So just give it a stir every now and then. And take a look at this. Starting to look good, right? You know, it's not hard to make good soup at home. It's cheap. It does take some time, but it's better than a can. And it might even be better than the restaurant down the street from your house. So it's been about 15 minutes, and we're going to check the tenderness of the macaroni. And we're also going to give you a free steam bath and open the pores in your face. Because that's healthy, right? We care about you. And once the macaroni is tender, just kick down the heat to low or turn it off, depending on how long you want to hold the soup around. And this is what we've got. Take a look at this. Man, this soup is hearty. It's going to keep you warm in them cold winter nights. You should also pick yourself up a French baguette, put it in the oven, warm that up and slice it up, and have that with this soup. Oh yeah, that is a delicious meal. Food porn flyover. Take a look at that. Look at all the ingredients in this soup. And you know what? I mean, this is something you can make on the weekends. It's not too hard to do. It's probably too hard for a Monday, of course. But it's worth making this. And you can freeze it. Get those glass ball jars and vacuum seal it. Alright, let's see what we got here. We're going to scoop up a bowl here. Oh yeah, this is looking good. Might need a fork. Oh, what's that? Chunky soup? Yeah, chunky soup. Hey, maybe we can get an NFL quarterback to come in and say this soup is awesome. I think Tom Brady needs a job. He could be a Man That's Cooking sponsor. I mean, sponsoring Man That's Cooking's got to be better than sponsoring FTX. Hit us up in the comments section, Tom Brady. And hey, you can hit us up too in the comments section. Click like, click subscribe. Check out our website, manthat'scooking.com. Thanks for watching.